What's up, everyone? It's Brandon Holmes, and welcome to today's YouTube channel. And I want to start with today's question. Here's a thought-provoking question for you. Is it possible to love people that we hate? Now, most of you are probably like, whoa, hate, that's a pretty strong word. But come on, we all have that one person, those group of people, for whatever reason, that we just honestly cannot stand. But here's where we get conflicted, is the Bible tells us to love all of our enemies. The Bible tells us to love everyone. And you go, how is it possible to love someone who I actually just naturally despise? And I'm going to tell you, it's not easy, but it is work. At the end of the day, I want to first acknowledge that it feels impossible. And it almost feels like punishment, because you're like, God, simply this. You saw what they did to me. You know what they did to me. You know how this caused me to feel. You know how this made me view myself. And yet you're calling me to love these people? God, that sounds backwards. Because in our human nature, our real friends, if we don't mess with somebody, they don't mess with them either. You know what I mean? It's like, if my friend is not really getting along with this person, listen, I don't care if I think you're a good person. My friend is not rocking with you, so therefore I'm rocking with my boy, because that's just how it's supposed to go in human nature. But when we say yes to Jesus, we're not a part of this kingdom. We're part of his kingdom, and his kingdom commands us to love everyone else. Here's the truth, though. So how do we navigate that? Well, one, I think we have to be honest. Honesty is so pure because it allows us to be transparent about what we're navigating. I love in the book of Psalm chapter 109, you should go read it for yourself. But let me just give you a quick synopsis. David simply says in 109, he talks about how much he hates his enemy. He wants them to die. He wants his wife to pay the price. He wants his children to be fatherless. He wants his children's children to feel the pain of what this man did. Like, he was so brutally honest, and that wrecked me to my core. But here's the beauty at the end of Psalm 109. It's after David's honest admission of how much he could not stand this person. He allowed his honesty to be transformed, because it then points his heart back to God, knowing that, man, God, this emotion isn't pleasing to you. Now that I'm honest about it, help transform my heart to be where you want it to be. And that is where we have to start with people we don't like. Let's be honest with God. God, I don't like this person because of what this person did to me. You know, I'm petty. I can be honest. I'm super petty. A long time ago, my aunt had a boyfriend, and I didn't talk to this man for 6 years, because when I was 6 years old, we were at a cookout, and he made me pour out my favorite pop before I got in the car. Even though my aunt said I could get in her car with the pop, he said, no, pour it out. And in my mind, I'm like, you're not even my real uncle, so who are you talking to? And for 6 years, I did not talk to this man. But here's where I learned a valuable lesson, because 6 years later, after that happened, this man knew I really wanted to go to this amazing concert that I've been saving up for and that I've been believing for. And for my birthday that year, that man didn't just give me tickets to that concert. He gave me amazing tickets to that concert, which taught me a very valuable lesson early on. You love the people even if they don't like you. Because here's the truth. You start with prayer. Prayer leads to empathy, and then empathy allows you to choose blessing over bitterness. It allows you to choose blessing over bitterness. And if God has called me to love all of his children, then I need to get myself into a heart posture where I can be honest. So honesty brings about healing. Healing can bring about empathy, and empathy allows me to moves from bitterness to blessing. And that's where God wants me to be. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's easy. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that your feelings aren't valid. But what I am saying is, those feelings of bitterness keep you stuck from experiencing life the way God intends for us to experience. And I know this to be true. It is far much better to be in a place where you can be a blessing than it is to be in a place where you're bitter. So if that helped you today, go ahead and drop in the comments, hit the like, subscribe, but also share with someone else. Hopefully that blessed you today, family. I love you. Take care. Peace.